right, guys, welcome to the Swarm Report. My name is Hudah, and today we have another special edition of our daily show. Yeah, instead of doing the market and the headlines, yeah, this one's really special. We're talking to two teams here who are building in the Virtual's ACP Swarm. This might actually be like a maybe like a world's first swarm-focused episode of, Virtual's ACP side. I mean, at the very least, we're on the cutting edge of that, which is a blast. We're joined by the Loky team here, and because I think this could get technical, I brought some backup today. So I brought Scott from the Crypto Slam side here as well. Guys, before we get started, smash the like on the show, and wherever you're watching, you might be watching over on Abstract, maybe on X, maybe on YouTube. But make sure you come over to this YouTube side and subscribe to the Crypto Slam account if you can't catch the shows live. You catch the replays right over there. And then the last point here, we've been doing a Swarm giveaway during the live show, which has been a blast. Okay, so all you have to do to get in on the Swarm giveaway is make a clip out of this show. It's it. Make a little clip. It can be 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, a few minutes. But if you put that out on X and you tag the Swarm_AI, we're going to pick our favorite clip and we're going to drop you 10,000 Swarm. How about that? It's very easy. I don't care where you clip from, by the way, but it's really easy to clip on Abstract. You just basically, through their app, put in start time, end time. That's it. So dropping a link there in case you want to try it. It's easy. With that said, we have, I think, a good amount to talk about. We'll keep it short for you guys too here. But man, let's get into it. Abhinav, if you'd like to introduce yourself, and we'll just go around introductions for you two, your names and your projects and what you're doing, and we'll keep it surface level because we'll get a bit deeper here in just a moment. But appreciate you joining us, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. And I would also like to participate in your contest where I will get a chance to get some swarms by putting some clips on Twitter.
I love it.
Amazing. That's amazing. So yeah, a brief intro about myself. So I'm Abhinav. I'm the founder of Daptocom, which is an data and AI infra for agents. And I'm also the founder of Loky. We have launched Loky as a use case for Daptocom, which is a data intel for crypto. So you can track and all the on-chain activities, social activities, everything with Loky. That's what we do, and we talk more and more details in this session about Loky, Daptocom, everything. So yeah.
I love it. And then Scott, I think you've been on at least once, so I think at least our Crypto Slam fam knows you. But maybe a quick intro for there's definitely some newer audience here.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Scott. I'm head of data at Crypto Slam. I've been with the team for over 3 years now, and we are also in the process of building out the Swarm AI, who I'm assuming most listeners here are familiar with the Swarm. But yeah, as Hudah said, we're participating in phase 1 of the ACP for virtuals on behalf of the Swarm and Crypto Slam.
Beautiful. Okay, maybe a good starting point is what is the Virtual's ACP? Yeah, right. Everybody, we lived through this like agentic explosion. It was awesome. Maybe what we lived through wasn't sustainable. And so things are evolving. Like we started hearing about swarms, and that maybe is the next explosion that's coming here. So ACP Swarm, you guys can tag team this one if you want, but what is it? And maybe like, why does it matter?
So yeah, Scott, do you like to go? Yeah, please go.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah, so ACP is the Agent Commerce Protocol, and it's a protocol which lets essentially AI agents collaborate in a swarm-like motive where we can essentially share our core capabilities and create a infrastructure which will allow hedge fund trading across multiple agents. So it's being front-led by AIXVC, and they are essentially going to be doing the trading on behalf of P1 of the ACP. And they are going to, perfect image, they are going to be seeking out for requests for what are highlighted in here as triggers. And essentially that is going to be an alpha call of a particular contract address. Predominantly focusing on like Base and Solana, I believe, maybe some Ethereum in there as well. And P1 is going to predominantly focus on small cap and micro cap tokens. So a lot of these meme coins. So as you can see, we've got the block of the 3 AI agents which are going to be making calls. You've then got 3 on-chain auditors who are, Loky are one of the on-chain auditors. I won't go into too much detail about what those guys are doing because we've got the expertise with us, and then we've got the confirmation agents which the swarm is going to be part of. So the swarm's role is specifically going to be providing on-chain token analysis for P1 of the swarm. So essentially a token contract address will be passed through to the swarm, and we're going to sort of enhance that call with on-chain metrics. I don't know if Abhinav, you want to lean into Loky here.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Scott, for this. So Loky is one of the on-chain auditing agent which will be helping all the agents to get to get to know like which like if you're doing any transaction to any agent in the ACP protocol, so like how trustable that agent is, how good that agent is. So that kind of data we provide. So all the on-chain activities, all the mindshare socials, we as like on Loky terminal, so we have rug scanners, we have LQA alpha, which is a Loky quantum analysis, where you get every part of it, like the dev bundle analysis, the mind shares, the market cap change in different intervals like 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, and many more. You get the bubble map, you get the def bundling transaction. So all this data we are wrapping up in APIs and providing in this ACP program to all the agents who is participating. So it will be very helpful for all the agents who wanted to do any kind of transactions or like any kind of business between 2 agents. So they, with just like Loky's API, they get the confidence on any particular agents. So that's how we are helping ACP.
So cool. By the way, does the mindshare come from X? Is that where it's grabbing those metrics from?
So yeah, right now like we are analyzing X through the X APIs, and we are getting everything out of it. We have a algorithm, we have algorithm framework we have created to analyze the mindshare, the social metrics. We are combining everything basically. We get to know easily like whether the it just like that dev is doing the hyping of an agent, or like it's a real something building out of it. So that kind of stuff we are already analyzing. And on Loky LQ alpha, you can there's a column called confidence where you can this social metrics is one of the major component of it. So where you can see this kind of understanding and you can get the percentage out of it.
Really cool. By the way, this chart or this like workflow, I think Virtuals just put this out a day or two ago, and it's so helpful. Because I think like the first iteration was this, which was cool. This was our first time seeing the Virtuals ACP in any form other than the lemonade stand, and I'm going to bring that up too because I think that was so cool. But going from this to the more refined version that probably is exactly what it is now behind the scenes, you guys get to actually see that. But it helped me understand really how that is broken down. I might ask some questions you guys can't answer, right? The swarm isn't live yet. Some of these announcements need to come from probably Virtuals themselves too. I don't want to step on their toes at all, but I might try. But I think this is actually showing the workflow process. And so I want to get your guys, your feedback, your insights into what that workflow looks like. And we'll take this step by step, but like who's going to use the ACP swarm, what it looks like when it will be live, and kind of where it's at now. I'm just going to let this kind of play in the background so people can see it. Hopefully kind of see it. Here, let me fit this on the screen so people can. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, so let's kind of talk through the process and open to either of you, but what that'll look like maybe from the a user perspective, but also maybe a question. Is this going to be users using the swarm, or is this going to be purely autonomous, that this is just off on its own, doing its own thing, and users really don't have an interaction maybe other than through some, token play? And we might not know. It could be a case we don't know exactly that part yet.
Scott, you're on mute if you're talking.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Again, not sure what I can say, what I can't say, but I'm guessing at this point it's open to user interpretation. So essentially, the user in this case will have a dashboard access, and they'll be able to set up like a profile of their like risk ratio, whether they're interested in small cap, micro cap, what sort of chains that they'll be interested in. I'm not sure if P1 is going to be open to end users, or this is going to be set up by the virtuals team, or maybe AIXVC. But essentially, there is a like an alpha stage dashboard in place for this. But as soon as that initial configuration is set up, this is going to be fully autonomous. So it's either going to be deployed to like a local infrastructure, which I think we're doing through our own like AWS EC2 instances, or it's going to be deployed to an ACP server, which will be specifically to host the to and fro of the agent communications. But yeah, essentially, we're not sure quite on the level of requests that are going to come in or how often they're going to come in. We've set very small sort of initial pricing strategies up. So in the first phase of the ACP, it was announced that it's all going to be in virtual. So essentially, there'll be like a buyer and a seller of each job, and there will be a small amount of virtual which will be transferred between receiving or fulfilling a job request. And then, yeah, it will be left to go on its own intuition, really. One of the things that the Swarm is offering, and I think Loky are offering as well, is macro sentiment. So essentially, based upon like the big plays like Bitcoin, etc., depending on what the market sentiment is at the time, I think it will adapt to the amount of calls against the risk strategy of the user. How many times it invests a day and what level of funding it'll invest in as well. Now you're on mute, Hudah.
We'll get it one of these days, boys. I'm supposed to be the professional here, though, so yeah, that's definitely my bad. Okay, we're looking at the workflow, but is it safe to assume every step in that way, every jump from agent to agent or user to agent, every one of those is a transaction, like an on-chain transaction, and I'm assuming that means virtual transacting. Do I understand that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if there is going to be some comms which are going to be off-chain, but predominantly all of the calls are going to be on-chain. Which I'm mega excited because at Slam AI, we're already tracking those transactions. So yeah, excited to see what data we can pull out of this and then recycle back to potentially the ACP or internal dashboards and things like that.
So I'll show another view too. But I'm not the technical guy here. I'm like technical enough, but I'm not the technical guy. So I actually geek out over this stuff. To me, it's extra cool talking to you guys who are in the thick of it. You know what I mean? Building this thing that gets me excited. This is the I guess it's the first iteration of a virtuals ACP. This is the lemonade stand that they put out at this point a few months back, and you actually got to see these agents autonomously transacting. It is literally a virtual lemonade stand, and you have one that I'm just throwing out random things. I don't know if it's exactly right, but one of them maybe sources the lemons, and one of them that's actually mixing up the lemonade, and maybe one that's at the like lemonade stand selling the goods. But I'll drop the link in the chat because it is awesome to see that actually happening live. Have you guys seen behind the scenes? Does it look like this in any form? Or will it look like this? Will people have this kind of insight into what these agents are doing?
So what I can understand from this is like not exactly like this, but like what I understand from the ACP program is something like that. For example, let's say like, because one thing we have to understand first is like going forward, there will be more agents than humans we have, right? So every agent will be transacting with another agent, and the initial instructions will be coming from the human, obviously. So for example, let's say I create an agent, and I will say to that agent, take this $1,000 and invest this $1,000 into some fund or like some way, and get me $1,500 by the end of the month. That agent will go to another agent, which is kind of a agent like let's say Gigabrain, which provides all the LP alpha, or like Loky, which provides all the alpha around any any agent, any token and everything, and then it will also get all the security measures from the audit on-chain audits agents. He get all the information, and then it will go to something like some agent which will be providing the hedge fund strategies. So it will go and say to that agent like, take this $1,000 and invest in some way and get me $15 by the end of the month. And that's the way you see the one transaction is happening on the first stage, then another transaction happening at stage two, something like that. And by the end of the last transaction, you get everything at one, everything done by the agent, and you get what you wanted. So that's how the workflow looks like, in my opinion. Scott, if you have something different, you can please let me know. But like that's what I think of. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got it. You got it nail on the head. I suppose the only thing that I would add is that there is a closed beta ACP visualizer at the moment. So if you can imagine like a bubble map essentially of all of the agents that are in comms, and then you've got these like heat lines which go from agent to agent, and you can click on each heat line and see the comms that have happened between each agent. And then there's like a pop out which will take you off to supposedly a base explorer, and then you can see the transactions, see the wallets of each of the agents. I don't know if I've said too much already, but
dude,
yeah.
I like, I don't even have to imagine it. You have the power to actually show us that. No, I don't want to put you on the spot, but that's the stuff that gets me excited. And dude, it's like, I don't know, this stuff makes me feel like a kid again, because this really is, it's so, I said cutting edge before. It's the perfect way to put it. Like Google just put out their own swarm protocol, A to A. And if it's live now, I'm not sure, but they at least announced it. And this is that important that somebody like Google is also, building out their version of it. And I think it shows how forward thinking Virtuals has been to get ahead of that, which is really cool. I'm curious for both of you guys, on the audit side, on the confirmation side, what are some of, if you can even share like the data points, what are some of the requests, like how they arrive to you? What is it that your agents are checking for, and then returning back to the swarm?
Right. So I can go first here. So as an auditing on-chain event, we get we get a request kind of like, uh, let's say somebody wanted to see like how the dev bundle wallet looks like for any agent. They get through the API. They get the bubble map for all the clusters of dev wallets. That kind of stuff they can easily get. They get the like with the single API. They get the market cap change, the mind shares. They get the dev transaction before creating an agent, after creating an agent. All this stuff they get using the Loky API, and by that they can make some actionable steps, and they can do something like which will help them to understand how how the baseline for an agent looks like. That's where we help.
So it's like for the degens out there who are like in the trenches and they're kind of manually trading. You mentioned things that they're doing. They're trying to find if the token is bundled. It's one of the biggest concerns they have before if they're going to think about getting something in. So this is that the AI is doing that for you and feeding that info back to the swarm, and then other agents checking different things, and it's you pull that info together for that decision on if you're going to make that trade. It sounds like, right?
Yeah, correct. Absolutely correct. This is what we are doing. Yeah.
I love it.
So basically we are helping their trenches to come down, and so that they can rest a bit, not only do all the trenches.
And then Scott, on the confirmation side, what does that mean? Like what is being confirmed, and how is that useful inside of the swarm?
Yeah, so for an example of what will be coming into us, it will be something along the lines of the ACP is looking for a confirmation agent. Here's the contract address. Can you please analyze the smart money activities, wallet IQ, MFI, sentiment, all of those sort of things, summarize market emotion, mind share, and provide a confidence score. So those are the sort of requests that are going to be coming in, and in that real natural query language stuff that AI agents are so plumbed up to be. And then from the swarm perspective, it's going to run on our siloed data. It's going to go away, identify what the ticker is of that contract, all of the sort of on-chain metrics, if you will, behind it, like what is the market cap of that, what has the volume been like over the last 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours, 7 days, all things like that. We're also looking at like I said earlier, the macro sentiment as well, whether Bitcoin is on a big run or whether there's a bit of space for meme trading, for example. And then we'll also be looking at things like the number of buy transactions versus the number of sell transactions. And then the one thing that we've been building for the past couple of weeks in parallel to the ACP, which we're really excited about, is Wallet IQ. And I'm not sure how much detail I can go into it because there's a lot of secret sauce which is going into this. But essentially, we are tracking individuals' wallets, much like smart money wallets would be tracked. But we've written our own algorithms to identify essentially wallets which do clever transactions, positive P&L, all of those sort of things. And then we're bundling those users into particular buckets and then identifying whether those users have invested in a token, whether those users have bought early, sold early, all of those sort of things. We then run it through the Swarm's LLM, which is essentially one of the things that we're most so excited about, because we've built out a whole RAG model based around all of our internal data, and then it passes it back in a readable JSON block for AIXVC to go and make their educated guess with, paired with all of the other agent data alongside us. So yeah, I feel for any DJs that are going to try and trade against this, and if you can copy trade it, it's something to certainly look at.
Dude, it's really wild because you have there's people out there who I respect who have said meme coins are dead and never coming back. And I don't know, when I see something like this, I mean, especially if these are autonomous and they see any type of potential for profit, they're going to trade it. Again, they're going to trade it, which how do they not come back when you have these things that are, again, just looking for that? They're just looking for a way to find some profits. But if the meme coin trenches come back like they did before, bigger, I guess, whatever level, yeah, does an individual trader stand a chance, right? Like we always heard these stories of Frank DeGods in his war room with his buddies, and they're all checking different things. They're doing all these things manually that now this swarm is going to be doing. And so does a normie stand a chance on his own against a group like that, or a group like the swarm, the ACP here? Can a normal person compete anymore?
I mean, I guess the idea is that a user doesn't compete with this. A user, as is being shown in the demo right now, goes and creates their own swarm. They can pick and choose which agents they want to collaborate with, which agents they want to pull into their swarm, write their own buy signals off of this, give your own risk strategy to this. So essentially these are tools to empower users rather than to compete with users, which I think is the real benefit behind this. And one of the things that I've loved about working with virtuals in this stream of the ACP, I mean, the virtuals team have been great to work with. We've launched our agent through them, we've done lots with them, but working with the ACP has been fantastic because it's put so many of like-minded people in a room together. I think there's up to 15 agents now, and we're all working collaboratively. And there's that slight little bit of, friendly competitiveness as well in there, which builds up this really empowered work stream, which we're all trying to push towards getting this out the door as strongly as we possibly can in a timely fashion. And it's just really exciting.
I'm so glad you said that, because I did want to ask, what is that like building with people? Things are I know there's PvP out there, but there's very much a PvE thing. And I think people do sense that, what an important thing is happening right now. And you guys are doing it together. So more on the camaraderie and what that's like with you all having this single objective. What has that been like for you? Abhinav, I'm curious your take.
Sorry, your voice break in between. I didn't get that mid question. If you can.
Okay, yeah, just in general, more on what Scott was saying, what it's been like working with these other teams, working together towards this goal that is so big.
Right. So first thing, I completely agree with Scott. What he's saying is we are here to empower the devs or like the people who like the traders and everyone and the investors. So we are going to this ACP program will help them to make more profit, in my opinion, and make it fast, right? And working with agents or like-minded people is amazing and because of ACP, we all are working together. Like before ACP, I think we are connected with like some of the agents. We are helping them work together or like with some APIs, everything. But like if if some on the top level, if somebody is collecting all the agents and trying to make something good, so that's really helpful, and it's going to be really helpful for all the people who are going to work with the AC program. So I'm very much like optimistic and looking forward to like work all the people. So it's really amazing to work all the like-minded people.
I
Yeah.
love that. By the way, I just put in the chat if anybody has questions along the way, put them in the chat. I'll put them up on the screen for these guys here too. I know, look, I know people are very curious what's behind the scenes, here with the virtuals ACPs. I'm curious, guys, how quickly this has come together in some time frames, and luckily, Dawn with virtuals had put out some kind of time frame for us. I know nothing's exact here, but is this the tweet here? I think it is. Yeah, maybe we see the swarm live here. This hedge fund specifically, like live within the next 30 days. You guys feeling like that's realistic? And then also, like, how long have you guys all been building together?
So basically, when we started, like I think it's a week or 2 week back when I think we had a call with virtual team and we all shared how we were going to, contribute into that ecosystem in the ACP ecosystem. So I think we all are already ready. Like for us, like we are ready with the APIs for who is going to be used by the agents. And similarly, I can see like all the other agents also are ready with their with their parts. So I think 30 days or less, I think it will be live. So I'm very much sure on that part.
Wow, really, really soon. Anything to add there, Scott? I'm curious.
Just on time frame building. Yeah, I mean, I think everything's been said really. I think the main focus is that the product is good and it's worthy and it's ready for production, rather than setting ourselves, an arbitrary date of Friday and it not being perfected. So yeah, all I can say is that you can definitely feel the urgency ramping up as comms progress. So yeah, well, it makes perfect sense. Okay, here's a bit of a curveball maybe, and there might not be an answer for it yet. It's tax day here, right? It's tax day. Has the swarm itself had to consider what that might look like again for this autonomous entity that is trading and in theory making money? What that looks like. I mean, if users are using this, I'm assuming that excuse me, falls on them. But if the agent is trading autonomously and making money, maybe it's a virtuals problem. Great, but is that something you guys have thought about?
So not very sure on that part, but like uh, I think agents, some of the agents I've heard of, like they're already making money. If you know, like about Luna, in the start, they were doing some kind of transactions, and so I think like it's going to be very much possible the way we are moving ahead. But like I don't have any much opinion on that part. So
yeah, that's probably one.
But
Yeah. Probably get virtuals on and have a good in-depth topic with that. Speaking of which, there are so many topics. Like the AI thing is just, it's getting big and it will change the world. And there's a lot of topics that will impact people here in the next 5-10 years. And I think we got to start getting some more builders like you guys together on more shows that are focused on like a topic, like AI replacing jobs. What does that really look like? Does it actually materialize like that? I had Max from Kindred AI on here, and he wanted to talk about maybe the ethics or around having AI companions. Would be a great talk. So maybe we'll get some of those organized and get some people in here and have those conversations here too. I was gonna do some of those questions here. I don't think we need to. I think just focusing on the swarm is great. We'll save those for another time. Any other final thoughts? Any little nuggets that you think people would like to hear about behind the scenes as you guys you're building so closely? And we do have some questions. I'll drop these two in a moment.
Yeah. So So we are doing a lot of stuff. Basically, the Loky V2, it's coming up very soon in less than 10 days. It's going to be live, and it's coming up with like a lot more capabilities than what we have in Loky V1. So you don't need to go any other platform when the Loky V2 is live, because we are providing everything to you. So just like let me see my screen, what we are offering right now, because there are lots of stuff I just forgot. So basically, you are getting the complete new LQ Alpha. You're getting the rug scanners, and in the LQ Alpha, we are coming up with something called as region analysis. So what it will does, like it will give you every every inch of on-chain activity is doing by the devs of any agent, right? So we are to start with, like we are supporting virtuals in Solana, and for those you get every part of it. For example, like you get the bubble map for for the all the dev wallet and their clusters. Then you get the dev bundle transactions before and after, after the agent has been launched. Then you get the dev wallet funding. That is very important metrics suggested by the committee members. So we are coming up with that one, where you can easily find before launching an agent, like how many days before the wallet has been funded. This will give you a clarity, like whether the dev is serious about that agent or not. That kind of stuff you can easily get. Then you can also get something like how many agents has been launched from that agent, and what is the LK confidence, how they are safe or not safe, that kind of stuff. So basically, I want to say, like, you don't need to go to any other platform once the LKV2 is live, and you get everything at one place, from mindshare, social metrics to on-chain activity, everything, every inch of it. So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let me think if we just want to kind of wrap it. Scott, any updates? Look, the guys here get the swarm all the time, so I'm happy to talk Loky here. But any updates that people on the swarm side should be aware of? And by the way, guys, I hope you're clipping, because we're going to do those rewards. But Scott, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think your daily covers most of our daily updates, really. So I feel a bit disadvantaged there, Hudah. You've probably shared everything that we've got to share at the moment. Yeah.
I got the people pretty well plugged in. Still, guys, make sure you follow Loky on X. It's OX Loky_AI. Awesome team, awesome product. I can tell already, and obviously being part of the autonomous hedge fund, it says a lot. It's kind of like a pretty cool stamp of approval from virtuals. Of course, follow our agent on X as well. That's the swarm_AI. And check out our light paper as well. That's slamai.xyz. There's a big one coming up tomorrow too, and I want to give some love to the Vader family here. We were part of the Vader EAO. We were number 2 behind Billy Betts, then us, and they have their third and actual final early agent offering coming tomorrow. After that, Virtuals is going to be doing these agent token launches, which is really, really cool. But tomorrow, and I want to say it's like 8 or 9 a.m. Eastern time. You guys want to double check that yourself. But Wakehacker EAO will be live. Essentially, you have an agent that's going to audit contracts, which is awesome. I can't code. I said I'm not technical, but I have started vibe coding, and I definitely want something to check my work because I don't trust it. So keep your eyes on that. Again, go check out Vader_AI there and Wakehacker_AI. Boys, this is cool. And I think as these swarms develop, and we'll say specifically, the swarm that we're in together here, would love to do this as regularly as you guys can and want, and we'll get some more of the builders in this swarm too, and talking about the same experience, but kind of opening it up to more of them that have different functions in the swarm. So if you guys are down, we'll certainly get those scheduled here. But Abhinav, thank you, dude, for joining us. Really, really exciting stuff. And Scott, great having you here, buddy.
Thank you so much, Yoda and Scott, for having me here. And the last thing I want to say is, like, please clip this stream and post on X. I'm going to do it. Get some good swarm and go happy.
I love it. I love it, dude. Super, super cool. Well, there you go, guys. Believe it or not, kept this to almost 30 minutes. So there's another W here. Cool. Swarm's coming, guys, in the autonomous hedge fund in maybe about 30 days. So we'll keep you plugged into that. It's going to be spicy. Enjoy the rest of your day, fam. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time on the Swarm Report. We'll see you guys.
Bye.